everyone. So we'll just wait for another 2 minutes, expecting more participants to join. Okay.
Hi everybody, good evening. Thanks for joining. We'll start soon. Hi Karan, thank you so much for making time to mentor your fellow alumni people in this from our Manipal Jigsaw Academy. Really appreciate it. So I think we'll wait for another minute. 6:05, let's start. Folks, please feel free to ask questions. That's the only way you can understand and make an effort to, make your story as well or as better than, similarly, a better success story as current. Okay. So don't waste time. Listen intently, interact, ask questions, and make it this a success. Thank you all. Please take care. Be safe. Most of all, be very, very careful and take care. Over to Kiran and Karandeep. Please start in another minute. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandrika ma'am, for making me coming over here and joining with the people. I am very, very delightful that we are here to mentor these young students so that they can also come up and join the data science field.
Yes, yes, definitely. You all should be together, help each other, pull up each other. So you set an example and they will do the same for the further batches that comes up. Yes.
Exactly. Even they're gonna be getting these things in very soon. So that's not a problem. The only thing they have to wait for few more days or weeks. That's it.
Yes, yes. Okay, 6:05. Please go ahead, Karan. Start. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start with my introduction first. My name is Karandeep Singh. So I have been working in data science from past 1.5 years. Uh, Majorly after I graduated from Manipal diploma, like after doing diploma from Manipal. So since then, when we graduated, so the COVID situation came into play, and it was in the
Sorry,
month of.
Karan. Karan, just mention your engineering degree, because many
Mhm.
people who are not from computer science background, who did not have programming, have that doubt. I think you should start from there. Mention what engineering degree you had, whether you had programming background or not, and how you still managed. Please tell that story also. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so let's go way more back than postgraduate diploma from Manipal. So it's called graduation degree. So I did my graduation degree in civil engineering. I'm not from computer science background or haven't done any kind of technical things related to the computer. And I graduated in 2017 with civil engineering degree. I did my civil engineering graduations from Bangalore itself. So after that, I went for UPSC preparation, which generally civil engineers or many of the technical guy do. So I went for that, and I got in fair marks in GATE as well in UPSC. And during I qualified the prelims, but I wasn't able to make for the mains and all. So I decided to quit after that because that wasn't my scope, and I didn't want to do the MTechs. So after doing all these things, I got to know that my one of my brother is working as a data scientist. So he's my cousin brother, and I asked him, like, I was in dilemma, like what should I do? So because I don't have anything in my hand. So this is a talk of 2019, after doing all these things, after my graduation, after my UPSC preparation. So this is a talk of 2019, month of March, I guess. Yeah. So I was like, oh, what should I be doing? And I asked him, can you tell me some things so that I can do and progress in your field? So he asked me to, why don't you go and learn AI things, which I generally do. So just try it. So I started asking, what is the relevancy with my subject and what you are doing? So he said, if you're good in mathematics or statistics, then you can do it. And the only thing that remains is you have to learn Python or any other language related to the computer. So I asked him, how can I start him and all. So he gave me some path regarding this, and even I started the digital marketing, learning the digital marketing things parallelly, so that I could decide like where should I go, data science or digital marketing. Then since I prepared for the UPSC and uh, in my engineering days, so we had subject of mathematics as well till 4, mathematics 4. So I had a good hands-on with the mathematics and statistics, so I didn't had any problem with learning the mathematics and statistics. So uh, when I started learning data science, so he suggested me to go for statistics, and I started doing it. So I found it very easy because I already had a base since I prepared for the UPSC. So all thing has been covered already. So the mathematics and statistics wasn't hard for me at that point of time. Only things were like how should I study the language part or to communicate with the computer, because once you know the analysis you're doing, so you have to communicate to the computer like what you have to do. So that's way I started learning with Python first, and initially I found it very difficult. I wasn't able to cope up, and I decided to quit data science because I thought that it won't be my part, because I'm not able to learn the coding skills as fast as other people are doing. So I took a 1 month gap after learning few of the things in Python. I learned the statistics part and everything, but the only thing was the remaining was the Python language. So I wasn't able to cope up in that thing. So I decided to quit and start learning the digital marketing side by side. And I continued it because it doesn't require any kind of Python skills or any kind of language required. It's just a tool. You have to learn it and do it your thing. So I found it very easy, digital marketing. Then one day my father called my brother and asked him like, look what he's doing. he's going a different field, and can you guide him again, like he's not learning what you said. So my brother called me again and he said, what you're doing, and why you're changing your things will take time, and it will make you learn. You have to just keep on doing it. Even I started as like you, so I found it very difficult initially, but how hopefully I did it. So you have to be there, you have to just focus on the things which are easy for you for now, and you have to go keep on going. So he told me that, like, you can just start learning Python again, you can start from scratch again and start learning. So I just took a break and stopped everything, and he guided me again, so I started learning Python. And mathematics and statistics were already done, so Python was the only thing which I was lagging behind. So I got it converted anyhow, and then I started searching for the institute so that I could get a degree, because I wasn't from the computer science background, so I had that demerit. And if I thought that if I go into any of the companies for job, they would be asking the same question, like why you want to join this company even you don't have any kind of experience in computer science field. So with that perspective, I wanted to change my field, so I was searching for the institute. So at that time, I guess two institutes were only offering the courses. So one of them was Great Learning, you must be knowing it, and one is Manipal. So the Great Learning course was I wasn't good, because I showed the curriculum to my brother, who was already a data scientist, which I talked about now. So he said that this curriculum is not that good, and you don't have enough time to even learn those things. You cannot, nothing can be taught in 5 months. So you have to be going in such institutes where the time is more and you can give time to the learnings, and you don't have to be worrying about job as of now. Let the learning begin and continue learning. And once you start learning the things, it will become better. So this is what I got an advice from him, and I joined Manipal without thinking anything. So before joining, I already had a hands-on with Python, so and mathematics and statistics. So that wasn't the issue for me. So I started journey with learning all those things. So I already had a pre analysis or done by me. So Python, pandas, so all those primarily things which generally are being taught while starting your data science course is already been done by me. And then I joined the institute, and then I started learning with the course. Then I found that these all things uh, are very easy for me, because I already have done all those things. So it was quite a kind of revision for me. And then when the teachers were teaching to me, I was doing a revision in the class, and when I go back to my room, and I was doing ahead, like I was learning ahead of them. So when I was in the class, I was doing their stuff, whatever they're teaching, and I was just revising the Python skills and getting best on my Python skills by doing the tutorials in the class. So uh, I just had that plan, and after my class, I used to go and learn advanced things like advanced SQL, Tableau, Power BI. So because when we come into the institution, we already had a curriculum, so we know what would be the next coming. So I started preparing in that. So I was already prepared for the whatever the next is coming. So I knew after this there will be SQL class, so I already prepared that beforehand. And so whenever I go to the class, I already had that kind of attitude, like I should have to learn, and when I sit in class, I should be revising the things. I don't to be pushing my things very hard. I will just learn and come and just revise and go, and then again learn the new things. So this is how I did my learning over there. So actually I was always ahead of my class. So when they were teaching ML, so my ML was already completed, and I was just revising the things, and I then went into the deep learning directly. So that's how my learning was and how I did my learning. And I think you also should be doing it if you're learning right now also. So because that's make your confidence but way much better, and you become more attentive in the class, because you know the things and you can answer now, so you're more attentive and you're able to do the things. So because these skills I learned it from UPSC learning, so I know. But yeah, you can do this way as well if you're learning. And then finally in month of March, we got we got our exams done, the second semester exam done, March 2020. And then as soon as our March examination got done, then uh, we had Corona virus was coming into play, and then after that lockdown happened. So we all got worried, like whole of our batch was literally very worried, like how we going to be getting place, and this all happened, and there is a hiring freeze. So at that point of time, we were thinking like what should be doing. And then I thought, I think that was a point of change for me, because we didn't had job, and the things were like nobody's offering job. So for me it was like this was an opportunity to learn more of the things. So at that time I was learning deep learning, and I knew that I wasn't even uh, perfect in that. So I started learning deep learning in those days of lockdown. So for the 3 to 4 months, I literally uh, was revising the things again, and was learning deep learning side by side. So my whole other day was going to the learning part, and I was looking for the jobs side by side. I was applying on the Naukri.com, on any of the site, so and on LinkedIn. And at that time my LinkedIn profile was also not that good. So because nobody taught me like how to make a LinkedIn profile better, so then I have to search and learn, and then I have to upgrade my LinkedIn profile. So that's how I learned and upgraded my profile, and that's how I was learning for whole of the 3 months of lockdown. And then finally I got a call from one of the institutes, uh, where they were asking for teaching, and also I just rejected those things. And then in month of July or August, I got an opportunity to work with a startup called, because everything was getting open in month of July. So in month of July, I got a call from startup, which was named CodeMonk. So it was an AI startup. So they called me, and we had an interview round. So it was a long interview, and they were all asking for the deep learning skills. And that's how I got hired for that skills. And because I learned in during my lockdown, and that helped me. So the conclusion was for this was like, you have to always be aware of like what is happening around you, and what are the job the people are asking for, and you have to prepare for that. You have to go through all of those uh, job post, and just look for the skills, like what are the job are being around, and what are the skills they're asking for. So you have to prepare for everything. And then when I got it completed, so when my interviews got completed, and I was hired as a data scientist, then they promoted me to the machine learning engineer, because I have to do the software engineering skills also. Because when I was doing my job, so after 3 months of my job, they upgraded my skills to upgraded my designation to machine learning engineer, because there were no one to do the deployment part of it, so I had to learn it. So so that's how I learned the deep learning part and deployment part side by side, and how I this is the way I progressed in way. So majorly my work was to prepare computer vision programs and NLP programs, and do all such kind of things where the AI can be integrated. So only thing what remaining was how to deploy the things. So I had to learn those things, and I learned for 1 month, and then I was promoted to the designation of ML engineer. So the things are like, I was doing the data scientist job, and now and software engineer job. So the whole thing happened, and this is what happens in startup, and this is how the exposure you get in startup. If you go into multinational company directly, there will be a problem, because you will be working in a particular department, and you won't be getting that exposure of data science life cycle. So here in startup, I got this an exposure to all of this life cycle in within 4 months of my joining only. And I was feeling confident about my skills. And then I was getting projects from bigger companies, started getting bigger projects related to the NLP and advanced NLP and advanced computer visions. So even being there for 10 months, I worked on 7 projects, and we got already completed all those things. And those things were all totally on computer vision and NLP. That's it. So nothing on ML, nothing on SQL, nothing on data analysis, all on deep learning part. So I am totally skilled in deep learning and whatever the skills we have in deployment. So I'm I have worked my career, like till now I have worked in a deep learning part only. So ML part is a basic for getting to know this deep learning skills. But till now I haven't been exposed to ML part, because even I wasn't interested in that, since I can see the job offerings which the people were asking for. They were highly asking for deep learning skills, and ML was not that favorite for many of the companies. And because data is growing and deep learning is becoming more and more requirement these days, so people are hiring for that. So because of that, recently I got a opportunity from Fidelity National Finance, which is a Fortune 500 company, and I decided to just apply for it. And then finally I got a call and got an interview call, and they were asking for again deep learning skills. So that's where I had already had a edge over it, because what they were looking, I have already worked on it. So that's where they got me hired, even though I didn't had much experience. I had only 10 months of experience of being in a startup. And somehow I managed to I managed to get their problems solved, because they were asking real-time problems of their business, and they wanted to get it solved by using computer vision and NLP. So that's where your skills come into play, and you have to speak up the things like how you're going to be doing it. So once you had an exposure in a startup, you can work in any field. It's because you have worked on all the process of the life cycle of the data science, and now you can explain everything what you can do. So business problems, you have to first you have to first explain the business problem, and then how you're going to be applying those skills to make that big business problem solved. So this is what the analogy is generally. And I was able to solve their business problem live, and they asked me to do it live. How you can solve it, just give us a demo, and I just did it. And then they got me hired after 3 rounds of interviews. And that's what this is what my journey is till now. And and it's been 1 month I have been working with them, and still I'm working in computer vision, and now more advanced of NLP. So this is what my journey is totally. And I hope you also looking for the same kind of transitions. And if you're from computer science or any kind of background, it doesn't matter. Like you can work, you can just join any of the companies. The thing is, you have to have patience, and you have to have best resume prepared in your hand, and best LinkedIn profile or any kind of job profile which you're searching for. You have to be best in that. and and meanwhile I was running my YouTube channel side by side, so it had an impact to the interviewers. So even they saw my channel, and also they got to know that, okay, I see he's here, so the person is literally knows something, so he's able to share the thing. So that's why those things, those extra things literally help you and find an edge over everything. And because so many people will be submitting their resume, and you have to be standing out of those resumes, so you have to prepare something extra, so that you could be you could be selected as in for the interview at least. And so that's how you have to explain, and that's how you have to prepare the things. And I hope you're also doing the same, but you have to keep up the things. So this is all my journey is. And if you have any doubts regarding any of the things, and how to prepare and how to do the things, so it's I'm free to talk. There's no problem.
Guys, if you want have any questions, please pose it, put it up in the chat, or you can
Unmute
yourself and speak.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Chandrika ma'am, we used to had a lot of chat with while in when we were in lockdown, right, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah. Right.
our batch and Kiran sir, you and Murli sir uh, used to talk with us and trying
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
make
Because
things
guys,
normal.
you should understand batch 7 was quite affected due to pandemic. Though Murli sir tried a lot, the jobs were hard to come by and not many openings were there. Companies had lost their accounts from US and those places. Everywhere there was a lot of stress. So that's why I'm very much in admiration with jobs batch 7, because in spite of all that, they went through all that stress and still they made it. Many of them made it into good jobs. Some of them by directed by us, like that of Currents, and others on their own. They also found a lot of internships, worked there, and from there they moved on to jobs. So they were quite affected by pandemic, and we kept talking to them to boost their morale, and they worked hard. So the key thing here is, guys, to work hard. Yes, I'm sorry. There are some questions. Yeah, Karan, you can look at.
Yes, ma'am. Can you explain the real life problem that gave you at Fidelity and how you solved it? Okay, so this question is regarding my company. So okay, let me explain it. So the real life problem is the so you have documents like PDF documents over there. So it's a financial company working from here. So they work in insurance field. So so they generally have everything documented in form of PDF. So in PDFs you don't have single image, you have multiple images. So in that thing you have to find out the information of whatever the name of the person, then who's the grantor, who's the grantee, who's the lender, who's the borrower, and how much how much uh, insurance they have claimed, and where's the property located, mortgage information. So all those kind of information is present in a format of text that is fully unstructured in a format of paragraphs. Nothing has been displayed in a form of table or any kind of structured data what we generally see. So if you see that problem, I think if and they wanted to solve it with my skills, and I just displayed them like how we can do it. So the problem is here is, you can understand, like from all those paragraphs you have to identify only those names which are useful to you, that is lender name or borrower name, and you have to find the date when they got it registered for the insurance and how much amount also. So that amount, all everything is being written in a text format, in a paragraph format. So nothing is being stored in a form of table. So you cannot go and directly grab those things and get the data out and store in the form of CSV file or any kind of. So there comes a data science where you have to apply the uh, computer vision and NLP so that you can extract those things. So I am generally using object action to identify the relevant text, and then I'm using NLP so that I could generally get those the required text information which I generally need for the company to be done and stored in the form of structure, so that all those required information from all those PDF informations, and that can be stored in a structured way. So this is the real life problem, and this is what it is. But meanwhile, if I go to the problem, real life problem, when I worked in a code monk, so and there we had a little more complex problem. So there was this company, I cannot reveal the name. So they wanted to develop a AI model so that the accidents in a bus can be avoided. So they actually generally the companies generally provide cabs and buses for employees to get them from their home and drop them to the office. So meanwhile, some accident happened at point of time. So one of the person died when they were coming from the home to the office, and that incident, after that incident, they wanted that AI to take place, AI to take concern on those things, and they wanted they wanted that thing, that the person shouldn't be standing when the bus is moving. So they want to raise an alarm when the person is standing inside a bus and when the bus is moving. So that's where you have to think about these kind of problems. This is the real life problem. You have to use an AI so that you can stop people being standing when you are when the bus is running. And that's how you can make people stop standing in a bus, and that's how you can stop people going around the gate of the bus. So that's what the problem of the computer vision, and we were able to crack it within 1 month. And it was we used computer vision, and algorithms were like object detections only. So we stopped them, and we raised the alarm also when the person is standing. So they were the AI was able to record that video as well with the person who is standing, and it was being streamed to the channel and stored in their databases, like who has violated the rules and inside the bus, and then they can work and they can so that they can charge on those kind of people who is violating the rules inside the bus. And that's how we developed an AI. So this is one of the real life problem you can face when you're going to be working. So yeah, this is extra real life problem I shared with you. Any more questions regarding this? Hi, can you share your interview experience? What kind of questions the interviewer will ask you, and their kind of questions which you feel different? Okay, so the questions were like it's all were related to the my past experiences. So when I first joined Codema, they were all asking for computer vision skills, and they even asked for the ML skills. So I explained those technical algorithms, and then they started asking for basic Python skills. So even they had a test for Python, and I gave a live test. Someone was there and sitting, he was giving the questions to me, and I was just doing the Python. uh, and uh, and I had questions regarding ML, which were all on base of uh, business related things. So how you gonna be giving these things and relate to the ML? So they were giving some business problems, and you have to solve it using ML. So they were not directly asking the ML questions. They were asking first, they were giving situations, and then you have to handle it. So that's where you have to come up as a data scientist, and you have to explain the things like how you can solve this problem using ML. And so they generally don't ask algorithm directly. Some of the companies directly ask, but most of the companies go for business problems, and then they ask for it. So this is generally done. And I can remember that ML wasn't their first choice, but deep learning, computer vision was the first choice for them. So they started asking me directly for the architectures inside the CNN, and I have to explain all those architectures which were there, like what is CNN and how the filters work over there, what are the feature maps inside this, and how you can see what is what is resonate, what is VGG, and what is inception net. So you have to explain all those architectures, and then how then you, if you know NLP, then what is BERT, what are transformers, so such kind of things, and you have to explain. So I did my I had my interview for around 3 hours. So they asked everything from ML, so basics of ML. They analyzed my approach about solving a problem. So they were always asking, like, for this particular business problem, you have to give 3 approaches, and then how you're going to be solving that particular problem with ML, and then explain why you chose that particular model for this problem. So you have to explain that thing as well. Like if you're saying that you're going to use random forest or XGBoost, so you have to explain like why you are using XGBoost, why not linear regression, or why not decision tree. And so these are kind of questions they generally ask, and you have to explain it. And if you're able to explain it, then it's good to go. And then they will proceed for the further things, and they start asking for the advanced things in computer vision. So the difficult questions are at that time I was facing with respect to uh, the deployment side, because I didn't had experience in my deployment. But when I switched the first time, like when I came here in FNF, So they asked the deployment questions because I already had a hands-on in my Codemon company. So with the deployment, so they asked the questions of deployment. So now I was able to explain the deployment part also. So that was an issue. So as soon as you start learning, so your questions varieties of answering the questions get increased. So that's a part of learning, and I think you all should keep on learning. And even though I'm learning till now, like even today I have to uh, learn something. So learning shouldn't stop you. So it's a very iterative field, and you have to keep on learning the new technologies. There's no barrier. There should be no barrier. And if you're thinking like learning few of the technical skills, and after that we don't have to learn anything, I think you shouldn't be thinking that way. You should keep on learning and keep learning the new things. That should be my first giveaway for you. I think I answered the questions, right? If it is not, then please ping me ping me on chat, or you can even unmute yourself if you directly want to talk. I don't have any problem. Any more questions, guys? Yes. During the classes, yes, because while I was doing the class, so I was just doing my uh, revision when I was in the class. So from morning 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I was doing my revision because I already have completed those things. So when after the college, I used to go into my room and take a rest, and then after this, I start studying for the further things, which are there in the curriculum. So I was already ahead, yeah, during the colleges, during the college time. So while I was doing the class, so I was learning. Exactly. So my first thing, you should be preparing a resume well. That's where the key lies in, and you have to first get skillful in learning the skills of getting selected when an interview see your resume. You shouldn't be getting rejected because of resume. At least you should get a call, and that's where I feel like a resume is a part where you can showcase your things, and then always prefer your LinkedIn profile to be best, because there you can you have much space over there than in a resume. So you can explain your things over there in a better way. So utilize your LinkedIn profile, and get your LinkedIn profile structured in a better way, and explain yourself. And the keywords matter. And if we are data scientists, we know that what is the value of keywords. Even if you know the simplest thing of NLP, so the linting works in a form of keywords. So the back algorithm, what it says is, if you have certain keywords related to your work, so it will start getting your LinkedIn profile uh, coming up in the top of the recruiter's selection. So whenever recruiter search you, so your LinkedIn profile will be on the top of those things. So that's how you have to make your LinkedIn profile and get your ranking at the top level, so that recruiter can hire you and see your profile and send you a mail. Otherwise, if you're prepared a simple LinkedIn profile, that's not going to work. And you have to prepare a best resume, so that you can be selected through resume as well, because some of the people are getting rejected because of resume. You are not getting called, that's because of that. So you have to see what are things are missing in resume. You have to figure it out. You have to keep trying it. And you can use, if you're preparing a LinkedIn profile, you can go and analyze their analytics part. There is an analytics thing, because we are data scientists, so we know what we can do with that analytics. So you can go and just analyze the keywords weekly keywords they will be saying, they will be showing up on the LinkedIn profile. You can go and just check it out. So is there any kind of thing like company will give more preference or more importance to the experienced person more than the fresher? So if you're thinking that like if you've worked already in data science field before and you're doing the data science work now, and you already had experience of 1 or 2 years in the data field, and you're doing the data science now, so that where the relevancy of that experience will come into play. Otherwise, if you're coming from BCom or BTech or any kind of thing, so that experience won't count here. So that's always a fresher. And the if you have skills even as a fresher, because when I joined a company called Monk, so I was a fresher and I joined it based on my skills. So if and many of the experienced persons wasn't got hired at that point of time. So if you have skills and if you're able to explain the things in a better way, then obviously you're going to be getting selected at that point of time. Yeah, hi Nitish. But make sure guys, yeah, you prepare a resume and LinkedIn profile like in best of the class. It should be best. There shouldn't be anything you should be hiding on your LinkedIn profile and on your resume. You should be using the keywords, very accurate keywords related to your field, and display your skills in a perfect way. Okay, so yeah, this was a related a very question. Like this question was literally very good for me to answer. I had this kind of doubts as well. So right now people are thinking that uh, whether we should be get hired for data scientist role or we should get hired for a data analyst role as an initial. So generally we always have a thought like we should directly get into data scientist job. So and I don't want to go into a data analyst job. This is what we generally had, this kind of feeling which we all generally have, because I have seen in with my recent talks with the people. So they generally directly want to go to a data science designation, and they didn't want to work for a data analyst job. So I asked them like, why you don't want to go? Because they started saying that I like to do ML and analysis. So I started saying that why not data analyst? What is the fault in going data analyst job? So they don't have any answers after that. So I just want to say that start your journey with data analyst. Don't wait for getting a job in data scientist, because as a fresher we should always think of uh, getting into a career is important, then getting a designation. So if you join as a data analyst, you will be more closer to the data. And if you're more closer to the data, your understanding of the data and getting the things done in a better way will be increasing more. So working as a data analyst, you will get a better exposure with the data. And suppose if you get directly hired for data scientist role, so in that way you're skipping the part of data jobs. So whatever the data analysis being performed, you're not doing that. Your everything will be gone. So you don't have any experience with respect to data. You're just directly jumping to the modeling part of it if you're getting directly hired for a data scientist. So that's if you're lucky, also you can directly get into a data scientist job. But I would prefer to go with the data analyst first, and then when I get to hands on with the data and more of the data engineering skills, then I will prefer to switch my job to a different designation of data scientist. So that's where the confidence will come, when as a data scientist you will come to know that okay, where the problems are occurring, then how this is where you can tell. Otherwise, if you haven't worked on the data field previously, then how you gonna tell the people like where's the problem lying? So if you jump directly to data scientist, you never know like what is the problem working at the back end. So you are just working on the model part, so you're not able to explain the thing. So working from the scratch, working from the data analyst job would be better than directly jumping into the data scientist job. So in some of the companies, people hire data analysts and then they make people to work for ML also. And in some of the companies, people hire for data scientists, so they make you do the data analyst part as well as modeling part as well as deployment part. So it all depends on the company. So it varies, the profile varies. I hope that answered your question, it is right. What tools you're working with? Like we basically work with just Tableau, Python, Excel is in class for now. Which are tools? Okay, so I'm not working with any kind of tool. When I was in the college, I learned Tableau, Power BI, and Python, even Excel, some of the Excel tools. But right now I'm not working in that field because I'm not working as a data analyst. So I don't have any requirement of Tableau and Power BI in my scenario. But majority of the jobs are in this field, data analyst field. Data scientists are being hired, but they require experience these days. So I would prefer, if I would have to stand and go with whatever the things are going, so I would prefer learn the Tableau, Power BI, Python, and then go and find a job of data analyst and start working, start getting my, at least getting my career started. And then later on, after a few months, I can switch back to, like while doing the job, I can learn ML and then I can switch to data scientist. So that's how your thinking should be. Shouldn't be thinking like, oh, I'm not getting a data scientist job. So what should I be doing it? I don't want to become a data analyst. So that shouldn't be your thought, because you're wasting your time. And I think you should first get into this career first, and then you can switch on the keep on switching the designations profile based on your experience. So I'm not using any kind of tool. You can it's good that you're learning Tableau and Python, and even Power BI is also working good these days. So you can learn those things, and because many people are requiring that kind of answer. So many companies doesn't work their business many business doesn't require any kind of ML. They just need only the analysis. So these tools will help you literally it will help you. So you have to learn Tableau, Power BI. So many of the companies are hiring for these data analyst roles. That's why. So these tools can help you to get a breakthrough in your career, and you can then work on your designations part of it. Okay. Gavish, yeah. So we are doing everything on Jupyter Notebook. So as of now, for interview, we need to know about REST API and deployment on the model. Yeah, it's an add-on part for you. Like if you're working on Jupyter Notebook, and that's not an issue. Like we also work on Jupyter Notebook, and for making the proper structure, we generally take a VS Code or PyCharm IDE. So we generally working that way. And if you know some of the deployment skills, that's a very good for you. And you can explain those things, and you can mention in a profile, in a resume, in a LinkedIn profile, that you know those things and you have applied also. So when you do any kind of project, you have to you don't have to stop at the modeling part. You have to do the deployment part as well. So only the thing it remains is only deployment part. So you have to learn those deployment skills, and if you know that's deployment skills, that's a very good thing. So you can just create a model, take a data, do the analysis, create a model, and then deploy it. That's how the cycle is, and you have to do it. So if you know those skills, if you doesn't know those skills, you can learn and do it. And this is the way you can show it off to the interviewer, and you can say that I know these skills and I'm highly skilled in these skills, and I know all the life cycles on the data science, and I've worked on those life cycles. So you shouldn't stop at just the model training part. You should go beyond that. Even you can deploy it on Android devices, and you can deploy it on the cloud services, and you can deploy it on Raspberry Pi or Arduino. So those kind of edge devices. So that's how you learn and do it. Okay, so Tejaswini is asking, in interview will be facing interview questions on statistic depth or just basic side. So it depends on the interview. So many of the times I got an interview, and they start with the basic part of statistics. So that's not an issue. I think you will be able to explain the basic things, like what is like where do we use like general questions, like what is central limit theorem, where we generally use central limit theorem in real life. Like we generally know the definition, but where it is being used in real life. And if you have applied statistics on your data, if you've done analysis on your data, where did you apply the central limit theorem, and what is the use of it, and how do you see chi-square test, f-test, and what is the difference between those two. So such kind of questions I think you can answer once you have done the analysis, and those are simple questions. I think you can, if you have learned statistics a better way, you can answer those questions. Those are basic things. So statistics, you should prepare statistics in a better way, because that's a base part of everything. So once you come into deep learning or even ML also, if you are studying that, you will get to know that statistics plays a major role in that. So all the predictions are done in probability, right? So confidence levels and everything matter. So everything is probability. So obviously, if you are using ML or deep learning, so probability is a matter. So statistics should be, and probability should be in your like, you should be confident in those basic things at least. And if you know advanced statistics and advanced probability, that's a good for you. You can understand any of the research paper available on the internet. So that's how you have to develop the skills. So if you learn the statistics in depth, it is good for you. Kaushal is asking, okay, currently I have completed my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, now I'm doing data science course. Do you think there's extra CS knowledge that I have to become? I think uh, whatever the course curriculum has been designed, it is good to give you a basic information, and you can start with your career with this much information. But if you want to become expert in this field, you can utilize your time. The 11th month, or the 11th month of this whole curriculum is more than enough to learn anything. So whatever the curriculum is there, you learn, but side by side you have to get those software engineering skills as well developed. So that's how you will developing yourself from the curriculum and by your learning. So if you want to go, like, if you're learning if you're learning with Manipal, and if you want to go for any of the resources which you feel like this is the best resource, so you can choose that online resource and learn from that. The learning should be your first priority. It shouldn't matter like where I'm learning from. And this is the basic course you can get on any job with this. But I want you to learn everything, and don't hesitate in learning any of the skills. Every skills matters, and competition is literally very high. Literally, when I face the interview, I know what is the competition level. And because of this hype created by the people in the field of data science, the competition is raising very, very high. So you have to figure out the way, and you should stand out from the people. So the thing is, you have to go with this curriculum, whatever they're teaching, but parallelly you should be learning everything, whatever the things you think you could do. So in internship, it depends on the company to company, like whatever the work they're going to be doing related to that. So if you're going to the product-based company, they will be doing most of the business analytics jobs as an intern part, or even they can hire you for as an intern for the ML part. So it depends on the company in which you're going to be doing the internship. So first, before joining the company, just please look at the profile of the companies and check like where we should be working in that field, and ask from HR like what are the profile I'm going to work for. So that's how you're going to get to know like what you're going to do in the internship. According to you, what is the most important certificate of skills required in a company? I think certificate and skills doesn't matter because when I got hired, I didn't had a PG diploma degree. So I got it recently. Recently, we received it. We asked Chandrika ma'am. So she helped us to get that degree certificate now, because due to the COVID and all, the things were not happening. So we got it. We got hired, even though we didn't had any PG diploma degree. So you can see like skills matter, certificate doesn't matter. I thought this only I will do that analysis job first, and I'm able to solve Python from studies background. You shouldn't be demotivated because of Python. You know the statistics, right? You know the mathematics, and just you have to learn the things how you can explain to the computer. That's it. And just you have to work on this Python skill on you know the statistics. If you're from statistic background, you know everything. So you are best in that class. So you can utilize that information. So you already have that information, statistics, so you don't have to worry about that statistics and mathematics part. So just you have to practice on Python, that's it. So you can work very easily. That's not an issue. If you give 10 days a time, I think Python should be in your hand. I think nobody can take you away from that skill. Just a matter of time. You have to dedicate your time. So I guess it will work. Don't worry about that. Don't get demotivated with the Python. And if you get to know the Python, after that you can do any kind of thing. I mean, ML, DL, you can learn anything. So don't worry about those things. Just a Python tool can help you to learn many things. So just a 10-day time. You give yourself a 10-day time and learn it. Okay, can you suggest me any online course to improve my CS knowledge? Okay, CS knowledge. Are you talking about any software engineering skills, right? Yeah, because that's where the CS comes into play. So I generally go for Coursera courses, and that's where I think the best skills I found so to be learned. So please go and learn from Coursera, because that's where I found the best platform. And even there are many online courses are happening, so you can do that as well. Even you can follow the Udemy, whatever the course you're required for. I don't know what your course you're asking for, but this is a general answer I can give. I see you got 9.4. Yes, Archit, I got 9.4 CGPA. Exams, I guess, if you're learning everything, right? If you're learning everything perfect, so you don't have to worry about the exams. You can easily crack it. That's not an issue with the terms exams. I think you shouldn't be worrying about those terms exams. There's just a knowledge check, and if you're learning very good, you don't even have to revise it before the exam. You can just write the sitting exam and you can just give the exam. So I think that's not an issue. You can do it. You worry about those getting hired as a job, because nobody asks for how much you got CGPA in your PGD, in your diploma. Nobody asks, and nobody even asked for my certificate also till now. Even I got a switch, so I think that doesn't matter. Can you tell me any resource to improve my statistical skills? So okay, one of the greatest resource to learn statistics is that Padhai.ai, which I have done it from IIT Madras course. So they have, I'm sharing the resources, so you can learn and grow up on your statistics skills if you're lagging behind in statistics. That's the best resource I found it. I have gone through the Khan Academy courses also, but it was way beyond than Khan Academy course. IIT Madras, so you can search on online. Padhai, Padhai. So that's a side name only. Padhai. It is developed by IIT Madras. You can search and check it. Yeah, Padhai.ai. Yes, exactly. So you can search and learn all those statistical skills. And even there's statistics. They're teaching Python also over there. So if someone is looking for Python also, you can enroll for those online courses and learn and develop your skills. So many of the things are being taught from scratch. Yeah, you can do any kind of courses. Like if you want to develop any kind of software skills, you can always open to learn for any other skills. You shouldn't stop from learning. You should always look for learning. So whatever you think it should be good for you, just go for it. I'm not recommending that go for a course only. You can go any of the resources where you feel comfortable with. Coursera is my first choice. And for statistics learning, please go and enroll for Padhai.ai. It's best available. I have learned it. I know. And recommend many other people for that. Expectations. So if when they get you hired as an intern, so they generally speak you about the things they're gonna work with you. So as a fresher, they just as an intern and as a fresher, they just want to see the skills, like whether you are able to do it or not. Because while interviewing, you're speaking a theory part of it, and now as if you get hired as an intern, then they generally come up and and see like whether you are doing that particular job or not. So according to that, they decide the designation or whether they want to continue with you or not. So if that is a data analysis job, then they're going to check your Tableau skills, Power BI skills, Python skills majorly, and SQL skills. SQL is very important, so do it. And then after that, if you're directly got hired for data scientist, then they're going to test you for everything from data analysis to model building. And if you got hired for the ML engineer, then they're going to check you for data analysis, model building, and then deployment part of it. So that's how the profile differs, and this will get the things better when you get hired for like when you go for an interview, then you will get to know. So expectation depend on the company to company what they are hiring for. And if anyone like if anyone still have any doubt, I have one Telegram channel prepared recently, so you can join that. I was like, I can give you the link if you want to connect with me personally.
Karan, you can share the link there or the ID.
Yes, ma'am.
Those of you are interested, please join the Karan's group on Telegram.
Yes, ma'am.
And especially if you have a interview tomorrow and if you feel you need little more practice or you want some questions answered, you can directly connect.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Like if they want an idea of interview as well. Yeah, and before going to interview, one thing more. Before going to interview, don't try to mug up the things. Learn all those things, like all those technical skills of ML algorithm. Start revising those things, and do whatever like generally we do. Don't go and just start doing the SQL part and learning those things again from scratch. Just see your resume before going to the interview. Just see your resume, what the skills you have mentioned, and what are the projects you have done in the resume. So that matters. So when they see your resume, they just see the project part of it, and they start asking like what you have done in this project, and then you can just think about those things. So before interview, just go through resume very well and think whatever the algorithm you have mentioned inside that resume, you should be thorough with that, and that's where the question will be coming from. And in a general form, they will ask me the general questions regarding statistics and everything. That's it. So before going for interview, don't learn everything. Just go with your resume and just see whatever the algorithm skills you have mentioned. Go through it in detail and in depth, and then sit for the interview. Any idea about big data interview? Yeah. So many of the companies are hiring for the big data developers, and right now the famous skills is PySpark in this. So if you're able to learn PySpark, that's where you can go. And I think in your curriculum it will be there, PySpark, just a basic part of it, but you can improve that to a bigger level. So I don't have experience in interview of big data, but what I have seen people doing in this field is this is what I can tell you. So PySpark is one of the most important thing in big data. Hadoop is also one of them. But if you know SQL, you can do anything. Because in big data also the SQL is a part of this.
So Karan, I'm seeing more and more companies are asking a very strong SQL skills. So that's why, in fact, I'm telling all these batch 9 and 10 people to build their SQL skills. I've also given them some links. If you also come across any links where SQL skill, this thing, please do share with them. I've given them some Kaggle links where they can learn.
Exactly. So that's why if they join the Telegram, I will be sharing my whatever the links I will be getting. I will share the job profile as well, like whatever the jobs are. So I will share in that. That's not a problem. Because these days data scientist job required experience, minimum 2+ year experience, 3+ year experience, and most of the job profiles are coming from data analyst profile. So that's why they need SQL, Tableau, and Python. That's the thing only. So if they're also good with these skills also, no, they will get hired. They will get hired with higher good packages. So they don't have to worry about this. They have to worry to enter into this field. Then later on, they can switch into the profiles.
Right. I agree. I completely agree. That's what I've seen. They just have to get some entry into any of these roles. May it be a data analyst, may it be a big data associate or data scientist or data engineering. But all of it involves what all we have taught. Okay, definitely.
Exactly.
And you just have to build the basic foundation skills very well and keep building upon it. You can move across anywhere.
Exactly. Don't get demotivated because of the time. Have patience. You will get a call, and prepare a resume well, and always have a check on the resume, like what are the things are being generally taken care while getting selected as an getting selected you into your resume. So interview will have only 30 seconds or 20 seconds to you select your resume or reject your resume. So in that 30 seconds, you have to mention that kind of skills, and always prepare a resume with a best template. So if you can prepare a resume with Word only, Microsoft Word, that's a good. And do prepare a LinkedIn profile. It's highly important, because and start showing up your skills and knowledge over the LinkedIn. Be active on the LinkedIn. That's where the recruiters will come in to get to know that you are getting involved in this data science, and you know some of the skills. So whatever you learn, just share it on the LinkedIn. That's it. You don't have to worry about the likes and everything. Just share it. And this way, the recruiter will come to know the interest of you. Like, okay, you're interested in this field. You're very much interested. You're very much into this field. So that's where also the opportunities come into play. And that's how the learning also will be improving, I guess. So whatever you share on the LinkedIn, it will be perfect. So that's how you should be preparing for the things. Any more question, guys? And please don't worry about the time. This time is for you. You can learn everything. You can learn anything in this, and you can utilize this time. So learn as much as you can, and if you and prepare for Tableau, Power BI, SQL, and Python, and get a job, because these days work from home is the option. So you can just go and join a job, and then side by side you can learn also ML and all. Then you can improve your skills, and then you can later on, after 10 months or 1 year, you can switch to data scientist job. That's how you can do it. But because we are doing work from home, so that's not a problem for now. So first, I would prefer like learn these basic skills and get hired for a job, and then do it. And link for learning advanced SQL topics. So okay, I will share it on the Telegram, because I have in my YouTube playlist. So I will share those things, and even you can learn from Coursera SQL for data science. That's what I learned from. That's where I learned from. And even I have some courses playlist in my YouTube, so I will share it there. So whatever the requirements you need, whatever resources you need, just ping me on that Telegram. I will share with you. It's not an issue. And that's why I created a Telegram Telegram account, so that I can share the things.
Okay. Thank you so much, Karan. It's really great from your side spending a Saturday evening to mentor our students and help them gear up to face the career in data science. Thank you so much. And I'm sure you people will continue to be in touch and do this knowledge sharing, continue to learn together. And all the very best to everybody. And particularly to you, Karan, all the very best in your career. Do well and keep in touch with us. And most important, guys, all of you, please take care. Wear mask, keep safe, don't take chances, don't step out unnecessarily. Okay, it's really, this particular variant is spreading like anything. I don't know about in the towns and cities you are in Bangalore, it's still a big thing. It's not come down. So please take care and all the very best. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you, ma'am.
everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Karan. Thank you.
Thank you,
And,
Karandeep.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Kiran.
ma'am.
Kiran and Giri, thank you.
Thank you,
God
Kiran,
bless,
sir.
guys. God bless all of you. Thank you.
All the best, guys. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.